A lot of the people I see who are considering filing bankruptcy have tax problems as well as maybe some other debt problems. Sometimes they're surprised when I tell them that bankruptcy law can offer relief from income tax liability. But it's true, it can. There are 3 conditions that you have to meet in order to have income tax liability discharged. Here are the conditions. First, the tax return must have been due at least 3 years before you file your bankruptcy case. April 15th is the normal filing date for tax returns, so count back 3 years to April 15th to see whether or not your taxes are old enough that they could qualify for a discharge. Second, you must have filed your income tax return, and that return must have been filed at least 2 years before you file your bankruptcy case. Sometimes the taxing authority will file a tax return for you, and if that happens, those income tax liabilities are not going to be discharged. But if you filed your tax return yourself and filed it at least 2 years before you filed your bankruptcy case, you are in line to have those taxes discharged. Third, the tax liability must have been assessed against you for at least 240 days before you file your bankruptcy case, roughly 8 months. If you filed a return and claimed a refund, and it turns out later that you actually owe money for that tax year, the date of the assessment is when the taxing authority has notified you that you owe the money. If you filed a return in which you indicated that you owed a liability to the government, then you have self-assessed the tax when you file the return, and that's when the assessment date takes place. If you meet all 3 criteria, that is, it's been at least 3 years since the return was due, it's been at least 2 years since you filed the return, and the tax has been assessed for at least 240 days, you can get the income tax liability discharged by filing a bankruptcy. Now, for some clients who have tax problems, they don't meet 1 or more of those criteria. But bankruptcy still might be able to help you if you have tax problems. If you file a Chapter 13, you can propose a plan of payment of your tax liability for a period of time between 3 years and 5 years. While you're in your Chapter 13, the taxing authority cannot assess any penalties against you. They don't collect penalties. That can save you quite a bit of money. And it gives you time to repay your taxes without having the taxing authorities take any kind of enforcement actions against you. So you don't have to worry about levies on bank accounts or wage garnishment. Do you have some tax problems? Bankruptcy might be a tool that you can use to resolve them. If you have questions about this, please come in to see us, and we'll see if we can help you out.